Today we're working on an Intex pool filter. Bearings are shot. Makes a lot of noise. So we'll start pulling this apart. Going to start with the 4 screws on top of here. These are what those 4 screws look like. And the cap just comes off. Make sure you unplug the power, and we're going to take off these 3 wires here with the blue insulation on them and the ground wire. We've got the black, the white, and the red down here. The ground wire taken off has a little washer and a nut, so just make sure you hold on to those. There's our 4 wires. Next step is to take out the cover screws down here. And that's what those 4 screws look like. Then the cover will just come off and pull those 4 wires through. Take the 2 screws off the back cover here. That's what those 2 screws look like, and then this cover just comes off and you see the cooling fan here. Next we're going to take this clip off just using needle nose pliers. We're going to grab the edge there and just pull that up. Just like that. And then this fan will pull off. You might have to gently put something in between the motor and the plastic to pry that off. Notice the flat on the shaft and the flat on the inside is right there. So when this goes back together, the fan goes on this way with that flat lined up with the flat on the shaft. Take off the 8 screws around the pump housing. There are nuts on the back side that just sit in there. If you're careful enough, just leave all the nuts in there for now. When I undo these screws, I just keep my finger on the back so the nut stays in there. The one that's tricky is way back in here, but you can get your finger in from this side or just stick something in there that'll reach the back of that nut. Okay, all the screws are out. Nuts are still in the back. Then we have the impeller. That impeller just spins off. So you have to hold the back shaft with something, or you can put the fan back on temporarily, and then this spins off counterclockwise. So that just spins off, and there's some seals in here. They don't go anywhere. Next step is to take off these 4 screws on the back. Now when you take those off, try and tip this back part of the housing forward so the nuts don't fall out. Just tilt the whole thing down when you're taking those out, actually, because that way gravity will hold the nuts in there for you. That's what those 4 screws look like, and this will just lift off. Now take note, there's a little seal, and we'll show you how to put that back on when everything goes back together. Next we're going to take the motor off with 4 screws around the base. These screws don't have to come out all the way. The whole unit will slip up and out. Just like that. Take off this plate with the 3 screws here. So there's the 3 screws. That's what they look like. This plate will just pop off, and we can just take these out for now. The motor mount bolts. Next we're going to take off the motor housing screws. These are these long screws here. When you first time you take this apart, they Loctited. They used Loctite on either, maybe on both the head and the nut. Red Loctite, the permanent stuff. So I had to heat these up with a little torch. You know, the torch you make your creme brulees with, one of those. Okay, there's the screws and the nuts. 3 sets. Next we're going to take off the housing. It doesn't matter which one end or the other. I just gave it a little tap. So then that'll just slide up now. And if that's the front, opposite the wires, there's a little plastic shim. Just put that back in there. And then this armature will come right out. And keep in mind there's another little shim on the back. It's like a wave shim for flexible spacing back in the bottom. So just if you keep the motor like this, it won't go anywhere. Next we're going to take off these bearings. You can see there's little clips in the back there. Got to pay attention to those. They stay on, but when we pop these bearings off, and we're not too worried about being careful taking them off because they're shot, we'll show those clips. This is what the wavy washer looks like on the back end. I took it off just to show you. When you're putting the motor back onto the housing, the end, you see a little notch and a little bump on the casting. You're going to line those up when you put that back on. Now the proper way to get these bearings off is with a bearing puller, but I don't have one of those. I have some needle nose vice grips. So I've put these wide enough so they'll touch the bearing, they'll go in between the fins. I got to close that up a little bit, and you'll see what I do next. So I put my vice grips in the vise. I'm going to line that up, and I'm just going to tap on the end of the shaft with a dead blow hammer, not metal, because I don't want to wreck the end of the shaft. And I also want to keep those vice grips away from that clip on the back of the bearing I mentioned. So I'm just going to tap here, rotate it, tap it a bit, rotate it, tap it a bit until that bearing comes off. There's the hammer I used. You can see the bearing's off. I just kept putting it on the edge in there and staying away from that clip, and tap and then rotate. Put the fin in between, tap, rotate. Just keep working that way until it comes off the tighter part of the shaft, and that'll move pretty freely now. And did the same thing on the other end. So a note on bearings. When we put bearings in, because the inner race is where our tight fit is, you cannot hammer on the outer race, because now you're putting all that force on the little ball bearing rolling elements that are in there. So I found a washer that's just slightly, the inner diameter is slightly bigger than the shaft, and the outer diameter is slightly smaller than the bearing. And I'm going to take the armature and I'm going to spin that around, because I want the washer here, I want the bearing there, and I'm going to take the armature and I'm going to line this up a little better, but I'll now just tap on the top of the shaft to get that bearing tight up against the clip. And you can see that's tight up against there now, and I just have to pull that washer off. Okay, both bearings are on now, so we're just going to take the armature and drop it down in. And get our spacer. Line up that notch. So that with that, Make sure everything spins freely. You don't have to put Loctite on these. Depending on where you got the bearings, you might have to do this again. So we'll flip the motor back up. We'll put those motor mount bolts in place. And we'll put this mounting plate on and do those 3 screws up. Don't worry about the seal yet. I'm going to show you a little trick for that, because if you put it in now and then you try and put the impeller on, you're going to have a challenge aligning everything. So just hold on to that for now. We're going to put this unit back onto the base. So I just slid the back in, lifted the washers up, slid the back in, get those screws in, tighten up all 4. I had to back off these 3 screws before I tightened the motor, because this wasn't sitting in the exact right spot. So just loosen those, tighten the mounting bolts, and then tighten these again. Now here's the little trick for that seal. Remember our housing? And the nuts are still in there. Thank you, gravity. We're going to take the impeller and we're going to put it up through, and then we're going to put that seal on. So there's the impeller up through. I'm going to put that seal on, and then when we put this back onto the rest of the pump, just we're going to have to kind of turn the impeller, because that threads onto the end of the shaft, as we slide the unit back on. So I tilted the whole motor down, I slid on that unit, I turned the impeller clockwise to start threading it on, and now I'm going to tilt it like so. I'm going to line up the pump the right way, and I'm going to put the 4 screws in the back here. We're going to put the fan back on, so remember, line up the flat with the flat. And then we have to put the clip in. So just slide the clip in, put it opposite the flat, because it's obviously not going to do too much on the flat there. And then remember what I said about those nuts. So tilt this back very gently so you don't lose your nuts. And we're going to hold the fan, just tighten this impeller by hand, not too tight, because as it rotates, it's in the tightening direction anyways. Make sure your O-ring's in its groove and it looks okay. We'll get the first screw started, holding the back of the nut, and I'll get the screwdriver on there and spin that screw in. The first screw's in. You don't want to do it super tight, because we'll put all the screws in, snug them, and then go around and give them all a little tightening. Not too much. And that back one, we'll do that last, because that's where we got to get our finger in there to hold that nut in place. Okay, all the screws are in just loose, and we'll go around and give them a little snug. We'll put the back cover back on and put those 2 screws in. These are self-threading screws, so you always want to make sure you try and get them back in the same way. I always turn them backwards until I hear a little click when the threads engage, and then I just tighten them up from there. They shouldn't be too hard to put in, otherwise you're recutting threads and just cutting away more of the plastic. And just give those a little snug. It's just plastic, don't over tighten it. Everyone wants to over tighten everything. Next we're going to feed the 4 wires back up through the housing. So I need both hands for that. Right, the 4 wires are up. We'll put our ground back on and then hook these back up. Okay, 3 wires are back on. The black, the white, and the red. Ground wires back on, nuts tight. We'll put in the cover screws, motor cover screws, and then we'll put on the box, electrical box screws. Okay, everything's all back together now. plugged it back in, and that runs a lot quieter now. Okay, we're hooked all back up now. It took about 30 seconds for it to prime everything up and get going. And you can see it's coming out nice and strong, running nice and quiet.